Landman fans, this is exactly what we've been waiting for. The Season 3 Episode 1 trailer has everyone talking, and honestly, it looks like the biggest turning point the series has ever had. From Tommy standing on his own without M-Techs to new threats that seem even more dangerous than anything we've seen before, every second feels like it's building towards something huge. But the biggest question isn't whether Tommy can build his new company. The real question is whether he'll survive everything that's coming his way. And after watching this trailer closely, I think there are several details that reveal exactly where Episode 1 is heading. Some of them are obvious, but others are so easy to miss that they completely change how we should look at the story. So, let's break everything down together. The first thing that immediately caught my attention is Tommy himself. By the end of Season 2, he had lost everything he had spent years building. He wasn't just fired from M-Techs. He also lost the position that gave him control over one of the biggest oil operations in the region. For someone like Tommy, that could have been the end of the road. But instead of giving up, he decided to create something entirely his own. I think that's exactly what makes Episode 1 feel so exciting already. For the first time since the series began, Tommy isn't working to make someone else's company successful. Every decision he makes now directly affects his own future and, more importantly, the future of his family. The trailer seems to focus heavily on this new beginning. Even though we don't know every detail yet, it already feels like Tommy is carrying more pressure than ever before. Running a company isn't the same as managing one. Now every mistake could cost him everything he's worked to build. That's why I believe Episode 1 won't waste any time throwing Tommy straight into serious problems. Building an oil company requires money, workers, equipment, permits, and trust. Tommy may have experience, but experience alone isn't enough to guarantee success. I think we'll see him realize that almost immediately. And knowing Landman, the writers probably won't let Tommy enjoy his fresh start for very long. Another detail that really stood out to me is how different Tommy seems compared to previous seasons. Throughout Seasons 1 and 2, he spent most of his time solving problems created by other people. Whether it was dealing with dangerous situations in the oil fields, fixing mistakes made by executives, or protecting the people around him, Tommy was always cleaning up someone else's mess. But now, everything feels different. The trailer gives the impression that Tommy is finally becoming the one making the biggest decisions. That sounds exciting, but it also creates an entirely new level of pressure. Every employee joining CTT is putting their future in Tommy's hands. Every investment carries risk. Every deal has consequences. And when someone like Galino is involved financially, nothing ever comes without a price. That's the part I can't stop thinking about. Tommy may officially own his company, but is he really free? Personally, I don't think so. We all remember exactly where the money came from. Galino didn't help Tommy because he suddenly became generous. He invested because he expects something in return. People like Galino never forget a debt, and they definitely don't forgive one. That's why I think Episode 1 is already planting the seeds for an even bigger conflict later in the season. Tommy might believe he's finally in control of his own future, but Galino could still be the one pulling the strings behind the scenes. If that's true, then Tommy's biggest battle hasn't even started yet. Something else that makes this trailer feel so interesting is the atmosphere surrounding Tommy's family. Throughout the series, his family has always been the reason he keeps pushing forward, even during the worst situations imaginable. But now, I think they're also becoming his greatest weakness. We already know Galino isn't afraid to threaten the people Tommy loves. That alone makes every scene involving Cooper, Ainsley, Angela, and the rest of the family feel much more important. Even if nothing dangerous happens right away, there's this constant feeling that something terrible could happen at any moment. Landman has always been good at creating tension without immediately showing the payoff, and I think Episode 1 is going to continue that pattern. Instead of giving us non-stop action from the very beginning, the episode will probably spend time building suspense. We'll likely watch Tommy trying to keep everything under control while quietly realizing that danger is getting closer with every decision he makes. That's exactly what makes the trailer so effective. It doesn't need to reveal everything. Sometimes the possibility of what's coming is even more exciting than actually seeing it happen. And after everything Tommy has already survived, I honestly believe the next challenge could end up being the most dangerous one of his entire life.